DK TV just saved my life. Cause Twitter, I can't keep up with it sometimes, bro. Somebody referenced the his line about the pearls and the pig, and I didn't read the whole thing because I was scrolling, and Twitter, like, when you open up Twitter, it automatically loads all the other tweets, and it's like, bro, I was reading this. What the hell? But luckily this dropped today. I happen to be wearing this because it matches my Vans, and basically Army like ate me up when I uploaded the wrong reaction. They were like,
how could you do this? This is terrible. This is the end of the world. You've made a grave mistake.
Damn. But I went back and read the lyrics, but it doesn't make sense though, because when RM's rapping or speaking in general, you gotta understand what he's saying, bro, especially in Korean, because the man's a poet. I can't help but wonder how J-Hope's trap flow would have sounded on here, and then how many syllables per millisecond Yoongi would have rapped. But DK TV saved the day. Probably like my favorite K-pop channel. Definitely probably like, yeah, it's probably DK TV, honestly, just because these types of videos, and they're actual Koreans, they're down to earth, and then you got Form of Therapy, you feel me, Slit, and you got all the homies. Is his name Aura now?
BTS has dropped the comeback trailer to their latest album, The Map of the Soul Persona, and it is absolutely amazing. The album title is the same as a well-known book about psychologist Carl Jung's Principles of Individuation, and BTS is no hiding that this is related, as there are many references to Carl Jung's theories as well as quotes in the MV.
How the fuck do people catch that?
The song, we need to dig a little bit deeper into Carl Jung's theories, which is what we'll do right in this video. Carl Jung divided the psyche, or the human mind, into the consciousness and the unconsciousness. He believed that by tapping onto and confronting the parts of the unconsciousness, one could obtain self-knowledge and lead to self-betterment. Today I will introduce three elements of this principle: the persona, the ego, and the shadow. The persona is one of the elements in the conscious parts of the psyche, the very outer layer. It is a mask/character that one puts on when they expose themselves.
Okay, this makes sense, because now I'm coming back to what people are saying on Twitter, where it's RM the idol, RM the president, and then RM, I forget, he had like 3 personas though, I don't know.
To the outer world. It's a compromise between the individual's personality and what society thinks one should look and behave like. Fundamentally, the persona is nothing real. It is like a borrowed personality that one puts on only in certain situations and then takes them off when they are out of that situation. However, most people suffer from the inflation of this persona, and they over-identify themselves with this mask, resulting in this mask taking control of your entire psyche.
Reaction channels.
You'll find that one must realize that the persona is not the totality of their being, but just a small component of a much larger personality. And this is achieved by diving into the unconsciousness and dissecting it. Now, another element, the ego, is the center of consciousness. It is what the consciousness believes and views itself to be. Essentially, the character that one thinks he or she should be. However, this is not the true self, as the true self encompasses both the unconsciousness and the conscious parts of the psyche.
This shit is
However,
deep.
Like the persona, many end up identifying themselves with the ego itself. The shadow is the sum of traits that are pushed back deep away from the awareness into the unconsciousness.
DK TV.
Feedback or punishment from others when an individual did show these traits. These are the hidden unconscious aspects that the ego has repressed or never really recognized.
Subscribe to their channel, bro. What the my mind. What the fuck?
These are mostly characteristics that one is probably not proud of and do not wish to acknowledge. The persona restricts the realization of the shadow to the outer world. For example, my shadow is right now telling me that I really want to pee in front of the camera right now. But the persona that I have on right now as DKTV's Danny restricts me from peeing in front of the camera because the society, you the viewers, don't want to see that or don't expect me to see that. So my persona is currently restricting my shadow's urge to pee in front of the camera.
Exactly. I like the vocal samples.
From the very first line, Namjoon throws the question, who am I? This is the
President
general theme
Daejun.
of this song and possibly this entire album and also this series. He is confused with who he really is. What is his true self? This will likely be the theme of this era of BTS, a journey through their consciousness and unconsciousness to reach the true self.
Yeah, I remember this line. Yeah, this is the...
Here RM uses an idiom 돼지 진주 목걸이. This is an idiom meaning people who do not know the value cannot appreciate the treasures that are given to them. For pigs, a pearl necklace is basically useless.
That's a
now,
beautiful
here
picture.
In this verse, Namjoon is confused. He feels happy with his success, yet he feels like he doesn't deserve all the success. Namjoon doesn't know who he is, but others have rewarded him for his behavior. If you really think about what kind of behavior he was rewarded for, he is being rewarded for his stage persona as RM. Him not knowing his true self and being rewarded for a certain persona
that UN
makes him
speech
identify
though.
himself as RM more and more, as we will see in the following verses.
Oh yeah, he's like talking about being a muse and all that, not worthy or something.
Namjoon says hesitation is his shadow. Again, as explained above, shadow is, in the Jungian theory, the traits that are pushed deep away from awareness into the unconsciousness due to negative feedback and punishment from others.
Man, bro, Jun is so deep.
When Namjoon says, ever since I became that, the that here is referring to RM, his stage persona. Notice how he says when he became RM, not when he is RM. RM is originally a persona, a stage persona that he puts on whenever he is with BTS and can take off whenever he isn't. However, Namjoon himself has become RM. RM has become his ego, who he identifies himself
That video
with.
is
As
so
RM,
dope.
he's a leader and cannot be showing his hesitant side. Namjoon identifying himself as RM has repressed his hesitant side even more. You can see the little Namjoon being thrown out onto the ground in this scene. This likely represents the shadow of Namjoon being thrown out, essentially ignoring it exists as he amplifies his RM persona as his defining character, represented by the multiple mirrored images of RM in this scene. However, in the lyrics, he talks about something staring at him below the stage or below the lights. If you think about it, what forms beneath him below the lights on the
Shadow.
stage? Shadows. Despite Namjoon never really showing his hesitant traits as RM, it was always lurking in his unconsciousness, and he was seeing it all along while on the stage. He was anxious because he was ignoring a big part of what made Namjoon Namjoon. Deep down, Namjoon doesn't think he is worthy enough.
He was
Despite RM taking over his ego,
spitting on
projecting
that
himself
joint.
to be the leader, deep down he sees many flaws in himself. Yet he has been consumed by his persona as RM and believes that people will only appreciate him when he is RM. He says no one wants to see his clumsiness. So this thought reinforces his over-identification with the RM persona.
The syllables. Not even that, but the syllables he was spitting, bro.
Persona, it really troubles him. He feels regrets and he has troubling thoughts during the night. However, the but in front of Kim Namjoon keeps him going.
The
keeps him
but
working.
in front of, okay.
Kim Namjoon is the true self of Namjoon. This Kim Namjoon encompasses the faults and the shortcomings of Namjoon. However, as mentioned above, his persona as RM has taken over him, and he feels he is RM. He feels he has to be the RM character or people will not appreciate him. Like he said about how no one is interested in seeing his clumsiness, he feels no one wants to see the true Namjoon. So when
What would you talk about? I'm just be waiting for the English subs of all the BT Bangtan bombs and all that to come out, bro. We live for the clumsiness. We live for destruction, God of destruction in June.
whenever he wants to get out of the RM persona because he's stressed, because he's having troubling thoughts, he remembers, but I'm Kim Namjoon. If I'm not RM, then I'll be Kim Namjoon.
Straight up, like, bitch, I'm Kim
No one
Namjoon.
wants to see the true me, or so he thinks. So that keeps him awake, that keeps him going as the RM persona.
Jimin, please cuddle with June.
Again, Namjoon is over-identifying himself with his persona. He remembers himself as RM at this point, and this is the only method he feels he can vent out. Now, a persona is a fake identity, and Namjoon says he has lied and hidden behind the persona, but he isn't embarrassed about that. He thinks the persona is the map of the soul, again, which is a red flag for overly identifying himself with the persona. Also in the video, you can see a huge giant 3D version of RM. It looks very fake, highlighting how a persona is a fake personality.
Oh,
it has also become
naked too, though.
than Namjoon himself, showing how it has overtaken his ego.
You really gotta think when you watch, bro, BTS videos. Cry.
To sum it up, this is a song of Namjoon overly identifying himself as RM, persona, and denying his true self with all its flaws and traits. This seems like a fitting theme for the intro to the Map of the Soul, as likely they will soon come to realize that they must acknowledge and face the shadows, their deep inner flaws, in order to realize their true self and break free from the persona and the ego. I will predict just one thing.
Shit is good.
This album will not be as upbeat as this comeback trailer makes it seem to be. It may be one of the darkest albums of BTS yet, since these themes will take you deeper into the mind and its not so beautiful parts than any BTS album has ever been. Now ARMYs, I'm really curious about how you interpreted this music video, so please, if you have any thoughts.
Well, I'm a reaction channel, so I don't really go as deep as maybe like reactors like Celeste will go with the theories, or Form of Therapy will go with like the visuals. I'm just here to have a good time, bro. I'm not the intellectuals. You guys are. I'm not the intellectual. What?
Feel free to comment and also share this with fellow ARMYs. Now, we do have a Patreon page where you can support us and also get some exclusive content, such as Discord chat rooms and also exclusive podcasts and reactions. So if you're interested in supporting this content and if you want to see more of this in the future, then please consider joining our Patreon. Patreon.com/DKDKTV. Instagram on Instagram, and I'm out.
Join mine too. I do stuff kind of like that, but yeah. I'm glad I seen that, bro. I love when they make these videos because it gives me. I need to just start really listening more. DKDKTV is lit for this.